I was not expecting this. Oh! Theros, Beyond Death, the upcoming Magic the Gathering set that continues the hero's journey of Elspeth, who last we saw her had been stabbed through the heart with her own spear by Heliod, so-called sun god, hashtag Justice for Elspeth, hashtag Dethrone Heliod 2020. Sadly, there have been some leaks for Theros Beyond Death, but I do want to state right away that this video will not contain any of those leaks, nor so much as a hint at what they might contain. I am, however, able to talk about Elspeth returning in Theros Beyond Death because that was officially revealed in the official preview artwork for the set. So Elspeth coming back from the dead is not a leak. I, of course, have no idea if she's even in the set, though it seems ridiculous to think they'd feature a planeswalker's life and death struggle so prominently, but not actually give them a card, though, then again, that is exactly what happened with Dack Fayden in War of the Spark, hashtag Justice for Dack, hashtag Bring Back Dack. But about those leaks, they have somewhat hindered my ability to make a prediction video for our return to Theros. Thus, for this video, I will be making predictions not entirely on Theros Beyond Death, but mostly on the new tease we have been given from Gavin Verhey's visit to the Command Zone podcast last week about the upcoming Commander products in 2020. I am, after all, the product guy, and I have a lot of wild predictions and, well, hopes for this new super amped up offering of Commander products that's being brought to us in the coming year. I do also have one prediction for Theros Beyond Death, but first, let's see the scorecard from Throne of Eldraine. Hit it. Well, the frame distinction says to me this is different from just an activated ability. We see it like a storybook, and this mana cost seems to indicate that the page has turned. Whatever it does, I think it will be a one-use ability. So my prediction, given all of this, is no Gatewatch members or plot of the Gatewatch even hinted at. A full palette cleanse. Let's talk returning mechanics, as my next prediction is some super wishful thinking on my part. I'm talking about sagas. I predict sagas will return. I predict the Brawl emphasis means Throne of Eldraine exclusive Brawl cards will make use of the, wait for it, great for multiplayer, Monarch ability. Yes, I'm guessing we will see 3 one-off sets. We've got the one-off set in the fall with Eldraine, one-off set in winter, and then in spring, we gotta just get little hints and whispers and get the gang back together. We're gonna start on a familiar plane called, I'm guessing, Theros. See, we gotta go back to Theros to get Elspeth back. Oh, snap, look at that. Woo! All right, there is a reason to watch this channel. So first, I do have one prediction for Theros Beyond Death that is in no way affected by or influenced from the leaks. This is a prediction based on what I've seen in War of the Spark and Throne of Eldraine, a disturbing trend that I fear will continue, and that is extremely pushed power mythics, possibly culminating in yet another 3-mana planeswalker or other unstoppable mythic spell. You see, it really looks as though Wizards of the Coast play design was under orders from above to make overpowered mythic cards to help push packs. And just like the scientists who created Mewtwo, they succeeded all too well.
We dreamed of creating the world's strongest Pokemon. And we succeeded.
Yeah, I'm really worried about something like a ban-worthy planeswalker or other overpowered mythic courtesy of those orders that I suspect were given on play design to push packs. Hey, free tip, WotC suits, want to fuel the mad cracking of packs? Leave play design alone, let them do their thing, and just bring back masterpieces. The rest of my predictions are each about one of the upcoming Commander products. Now, if you haven't watched the episode of Command Zone where this was all announced, take a moment to do so. Gavin Verhey is revealing the plan for each of these products. I'm going to proceed forward under the assumption that you have heard the summary that he gave for each of them, but we have really next to nothing in terms of the finer details, and that is where I am going to offer my own predictions for each of these products for what we might see. Starting with prediction number 4, Zendikar Rising Commander decks will focus on flavor and splashy face cards in a way that's very reminiscent of the now discontinued dual decks. I expect to see this the equivalent of actually Commander dual deck Zendikar, as it were. And in thinking about that, try and imagine commanders that the wider player base will associate with Zendikar. And I can think of 3 main options: Eldrazi, Nissa, and Nahiri. Now, to me, an Eldrazi commander deck seems most likely, even though we have been told that Zendikar Rising will focus on the original adventure theme of Zendikar and get far away from the whole Eldrazi destroying the plane thing, but I can still see one last Eldrazi push being given to one of these 2 commander decks, with a legendary Eldrazi as the face card. Either another version of the 3 Titans we've seen 2 iterations of already, or a new legendary Eldrazi creation altogether, one that is perhaps even tied to this idea that the Eldrazi are no longer prominent on Zendikar, are withering and being wiped away from the plane. It's the janitorial Eldrazi, I don't know, but it might be the face of that commander deck. Failing that, our 2 biggest faces of Zendikar are the Planeswalkers, Nahiri and Nissa. Perhaps these 2 decks will be 2 Planeswalkers, like dual decks Nissa versus Nahiri. Well, commander decks Zendikar Rising, Nissa and Nahiri. That might be what we see with Nahiri and Boros and Nissa in Simic colors, planeswalkers that can be commander, a very popular request these days. Or perhaps we'll get all 3. Imagine Nissa and Nahiri planeswalkers that can be commander and have partner, and that's one deck up against the Eldrazi Walker deck. That sounds pretty exciting. Well, prediction number 3 are on the not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 full commander decks that are going to be tied to Ikoria, the next set. Now, that's actually coming out before Zendikar Rising, and that gives me a little bit of nervousness because unlike Zendikar Rising commander decks, there's 5 of these things, and that seems just so massive to me. 2 seems like something that is much more easier, to do. But 5, wow, what are we going for here? Well, I believe in contrast to the 2 Zendikar Rising commander decks, these are going to be super pushed, as Wizards of the Coast always pumps the gas on new products to help ensure they sell. And while commander precons are far from new, the idea of 5 additional ones tied to a single set is, and in order to justify so many more products coming our way, there's got to be some gas in the tank on these. So I expect them to be much more in line with classic Commander Precon levels, definitely better than 2019 and 2018, so probably along the lines of 2016 and 2017 power levels. And since these are tied to the plane of Ikoria, and Ikoria is the plane of monsters, that makes me think tribal beasts or tribal iconic creatures is a solid recurring pattern to spread across all 5. Now, while I would personally love to see tribal commander precons that focus on things like, an elves commander deck, a merfolk commander deck, a slivers commander deck, I think that we're going to see these 5 commander decks lean heavy into that play design darling of iconic creatures: sphinxes, dragons, angels, hydras, and demons. This is such a weird thing that they seem to be obsessed with over there. That idea of codifying every last detail of every aspect of the game, even if it doesn't fully jive with the reality of player expectations. But let me not get into that rant again, lest we think this is an iconic Masters review. My continued prediction for these, though, is seeing the mechanics of Ikoria highlighted in each deck. So let's say Monstrous is an Ikoria mechanic. Then there will maybe be monstrous hydras for the green commander deck, and so forth. I am worried that reprints are not going to be a priority in these decks, that the reprints are largely being saved for another commander product, but that is far from a prediction at this point, and it's just becoming par for the course. Prediction number 2 is a big one, and it's on Commander Collection Green, which I think will be the first collection product to hit the reprint mark, wait for it, 100% in terms of included reprints. What do I mean by 100%? And why do I have such a ridiculously high amount of faith in this particular product? Let me walk you through it. This product is reminiscent of From the Vault and Signature Spellbook products, which established a now classic WotC pattern in regards to reprints. They'd each contain one really amazing reprint, several solid, or as the kids say, dece reprints, and then a bunch of low-value, dubious inclusions, because an 8 to 10 card collection of reprints can't be 8 to 10 high-end reprints. Thus, From the Vault Annihilation would have something like Virtue's Ruin instead of, say, Damnation, and Signature Spellbook Gideon, well, that's why they threw Shielded by Faith in there. But this collection of reprints is for Commander, and in Commander, there's an enormous number of playable and staple cards that are really only worth $1 each. For example, Cultivate. Every single green deck should be running one copy of Cultivate, but the card itself is only $1, sometimes even a little less, depending where you get it from. But every green deck still wants it, wants to run it, and if it is in this collection with, say, special art, special frame, whatever little premium aesthetics that they're going to throw our way for that collection, it allows Wizards of the Coast to give us a cheap, low-value reprint that we, the players, actually love, that we actually want, and they can still chuck in that one amazing inclusion and then several dece ones. So I'm ultimately predicting that they are not going to have any duds in this collection. No dubious inclusions, no what the hell? Why is that in here? Sort of thing. It's not all money cards, far from it. Expect one big money card, a couple nice ones, and then a bunch of really low value cards, but low value cards that we run in all of our commander decks that have green in them or want to run. A solid, optimistic prediction from the prof here. Gavin Verhey, don't you disappoint me. I'm putting my prediction reputation on the line for you. So at number 1, what's my prediction for Commander Legends, the draft set with Commander as an emphasis, with over 50 brand new commanders, over 50, and cards both new and old throughout? Well, what Gavin showed off on the Command Zone were new versions of classic legends. Jeska, who doesn't even really have a commander card, and a new version of my personal favorite, Baron Sengir. And I find it interesting that these are the two characters from Magic's distant past that were chosen to be shown off instead of, say, one classic commander character and then, just a Jace that can be your commander, someone from the Gatewatch, another Nissa, whatever. So their big preview is leaning heavy into old and, let's be honest, kind of obscure nostalgia. Well, then my prediction is that's what this set is going to be about. A nostalgia-heavy and centered set in terms of who they're making commanders of, with characters not from the Gatewatch, but instead from throughout Magic's deep history, finally getting cards, those that never had them, or getting good versions of cards, those that had them and they just weren't really that playable as Commander. We are diving deep into our history. Heck, this set is called Commander Legends, and that's hearkening all the way back to the original Legends, and it even has a homage to the Legends set symbol in the Commander Legends set symbol. So I think that's really sending us a message that this is a set that is embracing and highlighting the history of Magic the Gathering. So never mind Jace, this is Ramirez Perez de Petro's chance to shine, and Commodore Guff finally gets a card, maybe a Mishra that's actually playable in Commander. Huge nostalgia-heavy set is my prediction. They learned from the unquestionable success of Dominaria that there is a huge market for the old story, the old lore, and Commander Legends will show us just that. And I'm so excited for this set. I'm excited for everything, actually. Everything that's been announced for 2020 in terms of Commander products. We don't really know what it contains yet, and we don't really know what it's going to cost. And those two elements truly are the most important, but based on the outlines, based on the criteria that we've been given, yeah, I'm excited for each and every one of these products. I hope they are offered at a fair price, and I hope that their contents live up to the hype behind them. But I expect the best in 2020 from these products. Will they be worth it? We'll just have to tune in and see. But now I want to hear from you. What predictions do you have for the Commander products of 2020? Is any one of them one that you're looking forward to more than the others? Why? What legendaries from Magic's past would you like to see finally getting a Commander card? Let me know in the comments below. And this program was made possible thanks to a sponsorship from Card Kingdom, as well as the Patreon support of viewers such as you. So thank you.